And after they resurrected Benjamin Franklin, they were finally able to cure Paul Revere of lycanthropy. And that's how the witches saved America. Okay, go brush your teeth. Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we're here to ask, should you play Witches of the Revolution? Witches of the Revolution is a cooperative deck builder in which you control a coven of witches who are trying to help the colonies win the Revolutionary War.
In this game, you can recruit new witches to your deck, but in order to do so, you must banish cards from your deck forever. You can also overcome events by playing symbols that are on cards in your hand against symbols on event cards on the board. You can also help other players overcome events on their turn. Overcoming events allows you to remove objective tokens from an objective, and once you've removed all of these objective tokens, you've won the game. Now, some events will cause you to move down on the Liberty track, which can make recruiting harder. And if you move all the way to Liberty, or to Tyranny rather, you lose the game. Running out of cards and reshuffling your discards moves the Moon track up, which makes events harder to overcome. And if you have too many events, you lose the game. That's a quick overview about how to play Witches of the Revolution. Let's take a look at it. Let's talk about the look of the game first.
Well, I like the art on the cards a lot. It kind of has the feel of like classic tarot cards or cartoons from the Revolutionary era, which I think is just really, really neat. And it's really also where you get the theme of the game. Like, you will be playing symbols from those cards, and there are like cauldrons and cats, so it's a little witchy, but I really think it's the art that you get the theme from. The art on the board is maybe somewhat sparse feeling at first, but I think it's a good thing because once you have all the cards out there, I think it would be too busy if there was much more going on. I also really appreciate this board. It's well thought through and well labeled. I love that on the event track, it's very clear what you're supposed to do when certain cards hit certain spots.
Yeah, there are a ton of the directions are actually integrated into the board, which makes it really easy to play. You could ignore the theme if you wanted to. The theme is not essential to the game. You could look at it as just playing, red on red, blue on blue, yellow on yellow. But if you take the time to read some of the flavor texts and enjoy the artwork, I don't think the theme is disjointed from the mechanics of the game. I do think the theme still enhances the game.
The board combines a few mechanisms. The further towards tyranny that you get on the Liberty track, the harder it's going to be to recruit new people, which is getting new cards into your deck. And some of the events as they move along the track will cause you to move towards tyranny, but resolving those events will then make you be able to move back up towards Liberty. So it really helps you like prioritize what you need to deal with in order to not fall into tyranny. And I like that. It adds a sense of urgency and kind of makes the game more exciting.
I also enjoy they add a kind of different mechanic for deck builders. The Moon track, every time you shuffle your cards because you run out, events become more expensive to overcome. Cool idea. It makes you play very efficiently because you want to reduce your amount of reshuffles. It also has the effect of making the game get harder as you progress in the game, which is great. I hate when you play a game and if it's a co-op game, you see the end in sight and then you can kind of just relax and just play cards till you get to the end. This game avoids that, for the most part, very well.
So in total, you'll have access to 5 different types of cards. That's including your starter deck, and it's a fine amount. But I would like to see maybe some more cards in the future, things that have more interactions with each other, just to make it a little more interesting. Though I do think it is still interesting.
Yeah, I see how there could be more. One of the things the cards do for you is allow you to assist other players in more ways. So normally you can only assist a player by giving them one symbol on one of your cards. But some cards will let you give multiple symbols, and some cards will even let you give multiple cards. When I first opened this box and started playing, my biggest question was, do my choices matter? And the more I play it, the more I am pleased with how much your choices do matter. It's not like some deck builders where you just want to see what card you want to get into your hand. There's more moving parts to consider. You want to be efficient so you don't have to reshuffle your cards. You want to keep your eye on that Liberty track to make sure you don't start making recruiting harder or lose the game. You want to see what you want to hold on to assist other players. So you're not overwhelmed with decisions, but there are a lot of things that go into the decision-making process that I think makes it a solid game.
It also scales well. You can swap out as many of the difficult events for the regular events as you like, and the game will get much harder very quickly. Also, just having different cards show up, so like what events are out there and what recruits are out there, will make the game feel very different, from game to game. So I think it has some high replayability.
Absolutely. When I was playing this game, it reminded me of when I started playing Pandemic. Now, the games themselves in structure aren't that similar. They're not the same game at all. But it gave me some of the same feelings. You're still working on this very puzzly game, but it's super direct. It's a very succinct puzzle. They don't overcomplicate it. You also are keeping track of these tracks, kind of like in Pandemic, with your Outbreak track in that game, or your Liberty and Moon track here. And I also think it has a similar depth to Pandemic. So if, for instance, you enjoyed Pandemic, but maybe a game like Dominion didn't really draw you in, this might be a great deck builder for you if you want that co-op style. That's kind of the boat that I was in with this. If you only like massive deck builders that have a huge number of relationships between the cards, and you're into that just massive engine building, this probably isn't the game for you. But if you're a fan of the genre of deck building in general, I think this is a great new add to put on your shelf. I enjoyed it. I'll keep on playing it.
I will too.
So if you try it, we hope you enjoy it. If you want to see more, you can check out our how-to video and see all the details that you need to get playing Witches of the Revolution.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.